Hello everyone, it is Atia. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to a new vlog project. We are knocking out some short sci-fi and fantasy that I have accumulated over the year, and I'm excited. I am coming to this having already finished a book. I was able to essentially read this in one sitting. This is one of my reads for August, which I'm also doing like a separate vlog project for that as well. But if you have not seen my August TBR, then go check that out. But I read this in one sitting during, well, split into two because of sprints. But yeah, 101 pages. This is the second book in the, what is the name of this series? The Forever Desert series. The first one being The Lies of the Ajongo. And this was so good. Like, it really gripped me, fast paced. I can't really tell you much about it because, again, it is the second book. And it takes place like 500 or 300 years after the events of the first one. But it's definitely not a standalone. This is like a true sequel, and the character work was really good. You never know what's happening or what's the truth or what's false or whatever. So yeah, I think I'm gonna give this 4.5 stars. Like, this really captured my attention and kept my attention way more than the first one did, which I'm glad. I'm excited to get to the third one, which is the memory of the Ogissi, and hopefully we'll get to that this month as well because it's another novella, so it'll be encompassed in this project. But yeah, I just wanted to start off this vlog, officially started, and tell you my thoughts. So we have finished one of the novellas, and the second one up on my list, which one I started yesterday, is The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses by Malka Older. This is the third book in the Mosa and Pletty mystery series. What is it called? The Investigations of Mosa and Pletty. And this is queer Shakespearean women detectives, not Shakespearean, Sherlockian. It's very Sherlock, like, not Shakespeare. But it takes place on Jupiter, and so it's sci-fi in the fact that it's futuristic, takes place on Jupiter, but it's mainly a mystery. And I love being back in this world, being back with Mosa and Pletty. And this one is actually following Pletty. Well, they all kind of follow Pletty because Pletty is the one who narrates, much like how in Sherlock Holmes the narrator is actually Watson. But Pletty is approached by a colleague, and they're going to investigate, what's the word I'm looking for? They're going to investigate claims of plagiarism against the person's cousin. And Pletty is an academic herself, so I'm excited, really looking forward to it. I'm only on page 23, so we'll keep going and we'll keep rocking with it. This one is a little bit longer than the other ones. I feel like, I don't even know if it can be counted as a novella. It's 239 pages, but I guess like if the pages were taller, it would be shorter, if that makes sense. But yeah, very excited to continue with this one. All right, so I finished The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses by Malka Older. Absolutely loved it. Excellent continuation of Mosa and Pletty, like that series. It's brimming with questions about the human condition and all its complexities. And it was also very cool seeing Pletty investigate solo for the first half, if not the first 2/3 of the novel, and we see her grow and gain confidence in her own abilities and instincts as a detective and as an academic. It was a great balance of mystery and character growth, humor, and romance between Pletty and Mosa that continues to build on what we got in the previous 2 installations, and I ended up giving that one 5 stars. The next one that I'm going to read is Times Agent by Brenda Pinello. So I haven't started it yet, but I will update you when I am either halfway through or have finished it. All right, I am on page 142 of 203 and Times Agent. Really enjoying this. This makes me want to go back and read this author's novel, Rock Eaters, which I've heard about. But yeah, I feel like, did I tell you all? No, I didn't. I'll do it. Okay. A multiverse story of love, loss, time travel, and final stage capitalism from award-winning author Brenda Pinato. Pocket World, a geographically small, hidden offshoot of our own reality, sped up or slowed down by time. Following humanity's discovery of Pocket World, teams of academics embarked on groundbreaking exploratory missions, eager to study this new technology and harness the potential of a seemingly limitless horizon. What would you do given another universe a do-over? Archaeologist Raquel and her wife Marlena once dreamed the pocket worlds held the key to solving the universe's mystery. But 40 years later, pocket worlds are now controlled by corporations, squeezing every penny out of all colonizable space and time. Raquel herself is in disgrace, and Marlena lives in her own pocket universe that Raquel wears around her neck and refuses to speak to her. Standing in the ruins of her dream and her failed ideals, Raquel seizes one last chance to redeem herself and confront what it means to save something or someone from time. This is so good. It's heartfelt, but also really sad at times, but it's definitely looking at late stage capitalism like,
that one I felt. Did you feel that?
yeah, that was one heck of a thunderbolt or a thunder. Wow. Yeah, that shook the house. Okay, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, where we're headed from late stage capitalism or final stage capitalism, and just like the greed and how that erodes humanity, and just all these big corporations that are pushing out people, pushing out communities, pushing out intellectualism and academia, and I'm really enjoying it. I have 60 pages left. This is good. This is really good. I'm really enjoying it. I don't know which novella I'm gonna read next. I need to look at the ones that I brought with me. Okay, so I have The Butcher of the Forest by Premi Mohammed, The City in Glass by Nevo, and Psychopomp and Circumstance by Eden Royce. And I think I'm leaning towards this one. I finished Times Agent, really good, thoroughly enjoyed it. I do want to read this author's other work, Rock Eaters, or The Rock Eaters. And I ended up giving it 4.25 stars. My plan is to start Psychopomp and Circumstance, or is it Psychopomp Circumstance? Psychopomp and Circumstance, either tonight or I'll probably end up starting it tomorrow, honestly. Yeah, I think I want to do that. We'll see. We'll see how that's working. All right, y'all. It's been a while. It's been maybe 3 weeks since I last updated. I got back from vacation and it took me 2 weeks to recover. But in that, I was reading the rest of the novellas on my list. So we're essentially here for a little bit of a wrap up. I have a little post-it note to make sure I get through all the books that were left on the list. So starting with Psychopomp and Circumstance, which I believe in the last clip I said that I was going to start this, or I had already started it. All right, so Psychopomp and Circumstance, it says, Shirley Jackson and Nebula Award finalist Eden Royce pens a Southern Gothic historical fantasy story of a contentious funeral in her adult fiction debut. Fee St. Margaret is a daughter of the Reconstruction, born to a family of free Black business owners in New Charleston. Coddled to within an inch of her life by a mother who refuses to let her daughter live a life other than the one she dictates, Fee yearns to demonstrate she is capable of more than simply marrying well. When word arrives that her Aunt Cleo, long estranged from the family, has passed away, Fee risks her mother's wrath to step up and accept the role of Pomp, the highly honored duty of planning the funeral service. Traveling alone to the town of Horizon and her aunt's unsettling home, Fee soon discovers that visions and shadows beckon from every reflective surface, and that some secrets transcend the borders of life and death. But yeah, I really enjoyed this. Great pacing and excellent character work. It definitely explores grief, self determination, and the importance of community and building your own community. And I would read a full length novel in this world. I loved just the vibe and the feel of it. And I hope that Eden Royce does more adult work. And I'd even be curious to see what she does in the young adult sphere as well, because she's mainly in middle grade. And I ended up giving Psychopomous Circumstance 4.25 stars. Then I started The City in Glass, A Demon, an Angel, a City. In this new standalone novel, Hugo Award-winning author Nevo introduces a beguiling fantasy city in the tradition of Calvino, Merville, and Le Guin. The demon Vitrine, immortal, powerful, and capricious, loves the dazzling city of Azro. She has mothered, married, and maddened the city and its people for generations, and built it into a place of joy and desire, revelry and riot. And then the angels come and the city falls. Vitrine is left with nothing but memories and a book containing the names of those she has lost, and an angel, now bound by her mad, grief-stricken curse, to haunt the city he burned. She mourns her dead and rages against the angel she longs to destroy. Made to be each other's devastation, angel and demon are destined for eternal battle. Instead, they find themselves locked in a devouring fascination that will change them both forever. Together, they unearth the past of the lost city and begin to shape its future. But when war threatens Azrael and everything they have built, Vitrine and her angel must decide whether they will let the city fall again. The City in Glass is both a brilliantly constructed history and an epic love story of death and resurrection, memory and transformation, redemption and desire strong enough to reduce the world to ashes and remake it anew. It did not get to the part where they unlock or unearth the past of the lost city and shape this future. This did not go the way I thought it was going to go. I was super hyped about this, and I ended up DNFing it. I'm trying to remember where I DNF'd. Oh, I DNF'd at 62 pages, which was 28%. The writing was too slow, or not too slow, it was too dry, which is so weird because I love the Singing Hill series, which is by the same author. Like, I truly do love and enjoy that series. I'm actually going to talk about one of the novellas in the Singing Hill series, which is by the same author. But yeah, it was just, I was not interested at all. I felt that it moved too quickly in the beginning chapter, and then it was also super hard to get my bearings. So it moved too quickly, it was dry, and I felt like all over the place, and I simply did not care. The pacing was off. So I ended up sadly DNFing this one, which I'm super sad about. And I even, it's bad because I even switched to, I was reading it physically, and then around page like 50 or 40 or something, I switched to the audiobook, and I still didn't care. Like, I could not, like, force myself to pay attention. So that's disappointing. Then I read Lost Ark Dreaming by Sui Davies Okubangwa. This one was a surprise for me. The synopsis reads: the brutally engineered class divisions of Snowpiercer meet River Solomon's The Deep in this high-octane post-climate disaster novella written by Nomo award-winning author Sui Davies Okubangwa. Off the coast of West Africa, decades after the dangerous rise of the Atlantic Ocean, the region's survivors live inside 5 partially submerged, kilometers-high towers, originally created as a playground for the wealthy. Now the towers' most affluent rule from their lofty perch at the top, while the rest are crammed into the dark, fetid floors below sea level. These are also those who were left for There are also those who were left for dead in the Atlantic, only to be reawakened by an ancient power, and who seek vengeance on those who offer them up to the waves. 3 lives within the towers are pulled to the fore of this conflict. Yakini, an earnest mid-level rookie analyst, Tuoyo, an undersea mechanic mourning a tremendous loss, and Ngozi, an egotistical bureaucrat from the highest levels of governance. They will need to work together if there is any hope of a future that is worth living for everyone. This was a surprise 5 stars for me. I absolutely loved this book. And what did I write here? Oh, I wasn't expecting the horror vibes. It has a little bit of like a scientific horror element that I loved, but yeah, I was really loving it. The Omiwala is a metaphor for so much, and I don't want to say too much, but just know that this is packed with allegory, of course, because we have the idea of an arc and the waters rising, but also a lot of metaphors about the African diaspora and those of us who encompass it. And it makes me want to give Son of the Storm another try, which is the first novel in their, what is that series called? The Nameless Republic. I started that book a few years ago. I think read like 100 pages. I ended up DNFing it. I still have it though, and I have the second book. And this made me want to give it another shot. And I also think that just on my journey of fantasy reading and the fantasy reader that I have become, that I will probably appreciate it more now than I did or was able to when I first got it, when it first came out. But yeah, I gave this 5 stars. Highly recommend. Then we have The Memory of the Yogisi by Moses Osei Utomi. This is the third and final book in the Forever Desert trilogy. I read the second book earlier in the vlog. Oh, it still has the tabs in it. Yeah, so I'm not going to read the synopsis for this one because I don't want to give anything away. What did I end up writing? Interesting conclusion that simultaneously wraps up the trilogy but also kind of opens it up for possibly more books, even though I know that this is the final one. And Agba is a protagonist fueled by justice but unsure of how to dole it out. And there's lots of great social commentary in this. I mean, the whole trilogy is full of social commentary, and yeah, it just really mimics the cyclical nature of history and how we are doomed to repeat ourselves and repeat our sins and our travesties if we don't rectify them and then are not honest about what happened and why we have to rectify them. And I ended up giving this one 3.5 stars. Then we have that Nouveau book I was talking about, which is The Brides of High Hill. This is the latest book in the Singing Hill series. I love this series so much. I really do. Like, Nouveau really just is doing what she needs to do with this. And it says, Nouveau's Hugo Award-winning Singing Hill cycle returns with a standalone gothic mystery that unfolds in the Empire of On. The cleric Che accompanies a beautiful young bride to her wedding to the aging ruler of a crumbling estate situated at the crossroads of dead empires. The bride's party is welcomed with elaborate courtesies and extravagant banquets, but between the frightened servants and the cryptic warnings of the Lord's mad son, they quickly realize that something is haunting the shadowed halls. As Che and the bride-to-be explore empty rooms and desolate courtyards, they are drawn into the mystery of what became of Lord Guo's previous wives and the dark history of Doi Cao itself. But as the wedding night draws to its close, Che will learn at their peril that not all monsters are to be found in the shadows. Some hide in plain sight. So good. So good. The character of Nung, who is the bride to be, absolutely hilarious. She is just a riot. It's an excellent blend of fantasy, mystery, and horror that just chef's kiss. It worked really well. Che's sense of humor is also refreshingly sardonic. I just love them as a character, and I love how much growth we're getting from them in these later books in the series. And I ended up giving this one 4.25 stars. Then we have The Butcher of the Forest by Premi Mohammed. A world-weary woman races against the clock in this dark, otherworldly fairy tale from Nyambula and World Fantasy Award-winning author Premi Mohammed. At the northern edge of a land governed by a merciless foreign tyrant lies a wild, forbidden forest ruled by powerful magic. Varys Thorn, the only one to ever enter the forest and survive, is forced to go back inside to retrieve the tyrant's missing children. Within its depths await traps and trickery, ancient monsters and hauntings of the past. One day is all Varys is afforded. One misstep will cost everything. Another surprise for me. I really enjoyed this one, really enjoyed the writing. It makes me want to read more from this author. I know that I believe they have an Amazon short story, like an original short story, or they have like a tour short story that I believe is like 99¢ or something like that on Amazon, so I might get that. And I might also look into borrowing some of their works from the library, but really enjoyed it. Nice blend of fantasy and slight horrific elements, which seems to be kind of a theme in this video. I like the writing style. It feels like a dark fairy tale with a very sardonic edge, and I ended up giving The Butcher of the Forest 4.25 stars. Then the last book in this video project wrap up, I'm so glad I finally did this. Like, I've been wanting to do this project for like a year and a half, and I'm so glad that I did it. Shout out to Arc August for giving me the push to like get these read. And that last book is Swifter Than Scale. No, Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame by Neon Yang. And also, can we just, this cover? What? It says, with an armored, oathbound hero reminiscent of the Mandalorian and the Asian-inspired epic fantasy of She Who Became the Sun, Neon Yang's Brighter Than Scale, Swifter Than Flame is a stunning queer novella about a dragon hunter finding home with a dragon queen. Yeva was 13 when she killed her first dragon. With her gift revealed, she was shipped away to the imperial capital to train in the rare art of dragon slaying. Now a legendary guild knight, she has never truly felt at home ever since that fateful day all those years ago. But she doesn't need a home when she has her sacred duty. She has devoted herself wholly to the cause. She never even removes her armor in public. Few remember the girl she once was. She rarely remembers herself. Yeva must now go to Quanbao, a fiercely independent and reclusive kingdom. It is rumored that there, dragons are not feared as is right and proper, but instead loved and worshipped. It is rumored that there, they harbor a dragon behind their borders. While Yeva searches for the dreaded beast, she is welcomed into the palace by Quanbao's monarch, Lady Suki. Though wary of each other, Yeva is shocked to find herself slowly opening up to the beautiful, mysterious queen. Will Yeva forsake her sacred duty and let Lady Suki see the person behind the armor, or will she cling to the ideals that she has called home for so long? Engaging in lyrical writing, excellent character development in Yeva as she finds her own mind again. I mean, she was 13 when she was taken, so honestly has to like find her own mind as she is as an adult. And I would read a full length novel in this world. I really would. I also find that this is one that I might come back to and reread. It feels very much like an epic tale is told in that way. And I ended up giving this one 4 stars. And that is it. So with these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then there was The Truth of the Aleki, Time's Agent, and The Potency of Ungovernable Impulses. Yeah, so that's the 11. Yeah, so thank you so much for watching me finally read these 11 science fiction and fantasy with some light horror novellas. Make sure to give this video a huge thumbs up, subscribe, ring the bell so you're notified every time that I drop a new video, and go live for reading sprints. If you like my shirt that you kind of can't see, but there we go, I'd rather be reading, make sure to check out my bonfire as well as my Etsy shop to get a bookmark. Those are always linked down below, as well as my Discord and all of my socials. You can also become a channel member or a Patreon member and further support my channel in that way. And I will see you in another video. Bye.
Weakness showing, I ain't living for the moment. I see what's mine and I want it. Hungry like a Pac-Man. I'm Bruce Wayne and Batman. I'm Naruto with a Hanzo. Got a sharp mind like I'm Einstein. Plus I'm copywriting, so it's all mine. Check it for me, I'm